Hello everyone, you're welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be learning how I made this kimono top. Yes, I saw it from a designer from I think Uganda. Yes, and I think Catchy Classy on TikTok, and I liked it, so I'm recreating it. These are the tools I'm using. The fabric is Duchess, and all the required tools I need for it. This is a pattern I've worked with before. I'm going to be using it for a certain alteration. So then the paper is already folded in two. I'm drafting the back first, then I will trace out, then do the alteration for the front. So the length for the width is 18, so that will serve as my sleeve. I'm using my chest line. I'm spreading it across, then I will roll. The reason for this is I'm just using it, it's just a guard. It's not, I don't really need it, but it's a guard. So now I'm going to, the length for this paper is 24, but what I need, the length I need for, the actual length I need for the back pattern is like 28 or 30. Then when I'm done, I'll get like 28. So but the length of the paper I'm working with is 24. So when I'm transferring to the fabric, I'm going to impute it. Now I'm using my half length, which is 17. It's 16, but I later impute 17. You will see that while the video progresses. So I'm just connecting. I was trying to decide which to use. The point is, I've not done this type of clothes before, and I saw this, I liked it, and I said, okay, I'm going to give it a try. I have a fashion book, I have to even open it, like I have to go through it. That's how I knew the name of it. It's called Close Fit Kimono Top. So that's what we're making. Just that the alteration in front of it gives it another look. So I'm imputing my bust measurement, my waist measurement, and my hip measurement. Like I always say, use your measurement. So I've decided not to be saying the measurement I'm using. I will only point out when you put it, because we don't all have the same measurement. So now I'm going to do for the neck. I did 4. This is totally optional. You can make yours 3, depend on how fitted you want it. You know it's not going to have a zip, so I want it in a way that it will be easy to put. If you're wearing a very full hair, especially if you're in Africa, sometimes we do braid, so that it can pass through your hair easily. So I'll just connect like so. Then I'll go down by the shoulder, slope with 2 inch, then connect back. Like you see me do, like so. Then from the shoulder, I'm going to go down to my nipple point, which is 11. But I later changed it to 11.5 12. Then now I'm going to impute my allowance for ease. Like I said, this dress is not going to have any zip, so 1 inch for ease. I'll mark it on my chest line, my waist and my hip line. Then now I'm imputing 1 inch allowance, sewing allowance. on all the parts, the chest line, the waistline, the hip line, and to the base of the dress. So this is what we have. Now I will extend that mark that I went down by on my nipple bust pan line, that's my nipple point line, and connect to the edge of the pattern paper like so. But now what I'm going to do, I'm going to extend it. You can do 13 actually, because if you goes down more, when you're lifting your hand, it becomes more free. So you can do up to, you can connect even from there to your waistline. It doesn't stop you. So I enjoyed working on this project. I learned a lot, both in the hard way. Well, that's what we're meant for. Like, you try out things, you get better. After the results, you know how to do it better the next time. So now I'm going to trace out. This is me tracing out. Then when I'm done tracing, I will cut it out. I've separated the back from the front. So now I'm going to mark out all my traced line back. So now I want to use this pattern, but later I found that, like I said, I learned the hard way. I found that this was not really necessary, but because I was using a book, I have to follow the instructions like the way it was in the book, just trying to replicate what I was saying there to create this. So that is the neck, that I'm going to close it. So what that will do is that it will give like a shift in the on the center front line of this pattern. You get, so you will see that when I place it, so I won't have that straight line anymore. So what that will do is it's like I'm transferring the waist, just the dart was transferred to somewhere. So when I place it like so, when I place it, you're going to see that the line, the line of the center front was no longer equal. So but that is fine. That is what we're trying to achieve. We're trying to create room for much gather, because we need the gather for the front panel. So that is it. I'm cross checking the line. You know, after I've closed the dart, sometimes when you close that and something, there might be shortage. So I was just trying to find out. Now, if you're going to use this, you see, you're going to place your pattern towards the edge of the fabric, the main pattern. So this is important because because of the shape it's going to give when it's placed like this. It's going to give you like this, a curvy kind of like a high-low shape, and that is what we want to achieve. The space here is 2 inch. You see that the pattern ends right where the shape of the first shaping, the measurement we used, ended. So I'm just going to connect like so. I thought to myself, this will not be enough for the gathers. This 2 inch, that is like when you open it for, it will not be enough. It won't give me the gathers that I want. I'm like, I now like, why do I have to use this process? I could have just cut this on a freehand. So what I'm going to do is, I am going to extend the measurements to this other side. But before then, let's continue what we're doing. I went down again by 1 inch because the length wasn't giving me what I want. It was 16. I need 17 because I want to, so that it won't really reveal it. It's like a crop top, you know. But there's a comfort that everybody wants, especially when it's you that is making the dress yourself. There's a comfort you want to have with your garment or how your dress looks on you. So now I'm going to connect it like so, as you see me do. Yeah, make sure to like our video and subscribe. It helps, it goes a long way, especially when you like a video. It helps push the video. And that's the best thing you can do for a content creator on YouTube. So now I'm going to go down from the center from that new marked line. I'm going to go down by 4. You see me extend the tape to see if it will give me the desired length I want when I put it on actually. So by the side I went up, I came down by 2.5. So what I'm creating now is like I'm creating a band or a stripe. Okay, it's already curvy, so the straight ruler is not going to work. So I'm going to use a curve ruler to connect it. Sorry, it wasn't really showing, I didn't know that the camera wasn't really capturing it very well, but if you follow what I'm saying, you will get the same result. So I'm just indicating, I will put a mark to know, an arrow to indicate whether it's the upper part or the lower part, and I just wrote stripe, what is for. So that's done. I am going to cut out, but before then we're going to do the extension, which I have done. I did it off the cam because I was thinking to myself, I just added 2 inch and connected back. I was thinking to myself, if after that opening and extension it still ends in the same, that means I have not achieved my goal. So I had to, like I said, this project was really, it's simple, but I enjoyed it. Let me not complain. I enjoyed it because when I wore the dress, the fit was perfect. So it was what the experience I got from it. So now I'm cutting out. And I would love to, if you try this out, I would love for you to give us let us know you try this out. You can reach us with our handles, same name cut across my Instagram handle. Send us a picture and also leave a comment. Let us know if you'll be trying this out. So now I'm cutting out. I've cut out the stripe, and I'm going to, like, all these things that I did now wasn't really necessary. I could have just placed the front panel to the back panel to get the measurement I need and cut out. Though the neck deepening for the front was different, but all the same. So this is it. So just cut out and cross-check your work before cutting. If there's any adjustments, you make the adjustment that you need. So I'm going to transfer it now to the fabric. And after placing it, you see the space here, it was actually needed, so because I need more for gathering, to make that gather. So now I'm going to extend the length of the sleeve. I added 2 more. I intended to do a sleeve, a longer sleeve, but at the end of the project I didn't like it. Actually, the editing of it, I didn't put it here. I just have to be honest. Yeah, ignore my hair. I've not had time to go to the salon. I have projects, I have work that I'm doing, so client, and I was running late in my schedule for my channel as well. So I added 0.5 for sewing allowance at the baseline of this top. That will help me use it to I will use it to join on the strap. So now this is me adding the extra. Like I said, the length I needed, I did 30, and the paper that I worked with was 24. So now I'm adding up to complete it 30, and I'm going to mark it. So by the time I'm done hemming, I will have like 28.5 or 29, it depends. So now I'm going to connect like so. So just get the midpoint of your length and connect from the tip of the side to just that midpoint, kind of, that's how you get a curve. And if you know a better way to get a curve than this, please drop in the comment section. Thank you. So I'm placed like this, and I'm going to cut out. That is my sewing allowance. This actually was not necessary. You could cut unfold. Please, you could cut your back unfold, then put a slit, maybe 5-inch downward or 6-inch downward. 5.5 is better. Then you turn with maybe a stripe or a bias. You insert your loop. This was not needed, except you want to add a zip. It wasn't really needed, but it was the way I placed the fabric, and I want to manage the fabric. If I use the other side, it's going to consume more of my fabric, so it's a personal project I'm wearing. It's not like I'm making it for somebody. And I also want, at the end, the remaining fabric, I can make good use of it for something else, for any other project. So when cutting, please add your allowance, your sewing allowance at the shoulder side, except you added when you were drafting your pattern. If you didn't, make sure to add. If not, the sleeve will be tight. So now I'm cutting out the stripe. That's the band, and I'll cut 2 pieces. And I'm also going to add extension. Like I said, I'm trying to manage this fabric in a way that I won't waste it. So I'm going to add an extension. I'm going to cut out extra fabric to add as an extension. So if you want to determine your stripe, the band for your waist, because you're going to tie it to the back, you're going to times either your waist times 2, then you add maybe extra 5-inch allowance to it, 5-inch to it, or just your waist times 2. It's totally up to you. That's how you get enough to have extra to tie at the back. So now I am done. I'm going to cut out the second one like so. And I would also love to point out that you have to indicate the upper part and the lower part of your band or stripe because of the shape it has. It's not a straight shape, but probably you can make your straight. It will be fine if you're able to make a straight do a straight one. Who knows, the outcome might be fine. So I'm notching so that when I'm joining my fabric, I will know where is the upper part. So now I will stitch the waistline with a loose stitch, and I've done that. I am going to make a gathers. If you don't know how to use a loose stitch, you can use a needle and do a running stitch on it and stretch it. You will still get gathers. So to get your waist, what you gather, you know the actual waist measurement you did. Like what I did, my waist was 8. I added 1 inch for ease, 1 inch for sewing allowance. So that gives me 10. So I will gather it to 20. So my front panel gather is 20. So I've stitched the neckline of the back. I've top stitched it. This for the front, I just brought it to show you. If you can't do it neatly, use a bias or cut out a stripe from your fabric and use it to turn it. This is the stripe I'm using for the loop for the back. So I've sewn it, then I'll cut out. I'll use the needle to turn it over. First you secure the thread of your needle like so, then you pass it through. Very easy. And when you're done, you give it a good press. You place it like so, like few inch away from, like 0.3 or away from the turning of the neckline, and turn it again like so and place it like so and top stitch. So I brought it to show us I have secured the stitch. Now I'm going to turn like that, and I will turn again. But now while turning, I will tint the loop out, if that makes sense. If you don't get it, just rewatch and rewatch, you get it. So when I was done, I saw that my stitch was not neat. Sewing requires patience, you all know that. So I loosed it again and made it and made it neat. Though I'm the one wearing it, but just has to be neat. So now I'm going to sew the shoulder, join the shoulder edges and sew. I'm done sewing the shoulder. This is what we have, taking shape. So now it's time to fix the button. This is the button I'm using. I got this button like last year. I just saw it, I liked it, and I bought it. It has been. So I'm going to secure. Just take your time before you start sewing. Make sure it's aligned. You have to check properly. If it's aligned, then you start stitching your button. Secure the thread, then cut out. So this is what we have. Now it's time to join the stripe. I've sewn the down part. I sewed the down part first. So I ironed it. So I'm going to join it into two like so. That's the extension I added to it. I'm going to join it into two like so and notch the middle point. And I'm also going to notch the middle point of the top. So right side facing the back side of the front panel of the top. I'm going to secure it with pin all through. Please make sure to secure with pin. Then I will turn it over, turn the stripe over, and sew close towards the end of where I pinned that stopped. I do the same for the other side. And I have to point out, if you're sewing this, make sure if you're sewing on 0.5 on the right side, make sure you sew on 0.5 on the left side. If not, when you're trying to turn the front to do a top stitch, it might not lap very well. So I'm going to turn out. And make sure you bring out all the edges very well. So I'm going to give it a good press before top stitching. That will help me see if there's an error or any correction I need to make. And it also helps your top stitching come out neatly. So I'll top stitch. That's what I've done. If you know how to stitch on the ditch, you can use a stitch on the ditch. That means you have to sew the front panel first before. If you know how to sew on the ditch, I have a tutorial on that. You can check it on my channel. Now I'm going to join the side. Also, the added allowance actually sewed on 0.5, not the 1 inch. So I have more than sewed on 0.5. So here I'm done. Now I'm going to top stitch the down part of the back. This is for the back. You need patience to do that. I've done that. If you can't sew straight because of the curvy side it has, please use a bias, or you weave then you sew once, or you sew first, you turn again and sew the second time. So now I'm sewing the sleeve, and yes, we're almost done. This is what you have. Please send us a message if you try this. Let us know, send us pictures, and thank you for watching to this point.